Aloha, this is Samo Guy in Hawaii, and this is a quick look at weapon level, specifically damage, weapon damage in Mayhem 2.0. A lot of people assume Mayhem 4 under the new system is the same under the old system, and this is essentially true from a difficulty standpoint. You can jump into the new system at Mayhem 4 or 5, and the enemies you face will feel about the same, basically because they essentially are. Okay? Some of the random level modifiers will shake things up, but the enemy toughness is about the same. This is how the baseline figures for both the old and new Mayhem systems look side by side. As you can see, enemy health shields and armor at Mayhem 4 under the old system fit right in here between 4 and 5 in the new system. As a matter of fact, Mayhem 4 under the new system was actually a little bit easier than the old, and that's fine. Okay. What a lot of people are also assuming, though, is that all their original gear is Mayhem 4 gear, and it is not. It is effectively Mayhem 0. Okay. The effective level of any weapon dropped from an enemy in Mayhem 2.0 is at present level 57 plus whatever Mayhem level you are on at the time. Okay. If you pick up a Cutsman in Mayhem 5, it will say level 57, but it's really a level 62. Now, the damage level of any gun in Borderlands 3 is 9% higher than the previous level for the exact same gun. There's a really good Reddit post on this and Mayhem weapon levels linked in the description below if you prefer to read about this vice listening to me. In any case, for Mayhem 2.0, that scaling looks like this. Okay, it's not 9% stacked, it's not 9%, 80%, 27%, and so on. If you add 9% to 100, you get 109. But if you add 9% to 109, you get 119. 9% to 119, you get 129, etc. Okay. Now these are two identical Westergun SMGs obtained at different Mayhem levels. Level 0, no Mayhem, and level 4. Ignore the anointments, ignore the elements. The parts are identical, and so are all the stats except for damage. Now, if we divide the M4 gun damage by the M0 damage, we get 1.41 or 141%. The Mayhem level 4 Westergun damage is 41% more than the Mayhem level 01. This matches up with the table. So, if we jump in and start playing at Mayhem 1 or 2, we will still, on average, get better gear than we would with Mayhem turned off. Okay. Does this mean any weapon dropped at a higher level of Mayhem will perform better than one dropped at a lower level or no Mayhem? Not necessarily. Well, that's true for even playing without Mayhem levels. Okay. Any weapon in Borderlands 3 has multiple variants with different combinations of parts, most of which affect the gun's stats. Some guns have tens of variants, some hundreds, some thousands. Okay. The number of variants remains the same for any given level. The different stats we encounter will also be the same between levels except for the damage. The damage follows the 9% rule. Okay. Some gun variants have so much variation in performance, even just raw damage figures, that a lower level variant may outperform a higher level one. As an example, I'm working on a video on the Clairvoyance assault rifle, a gun which has a lot of variation in parts and a whole lot of variance, over 23,000 parts per part combinations. Okay. The highest damage figure for a given level of Clairvoyance is over twice that of the lowest. 206% actually. Okay, 206% is bigger than the perk we get from many mid and top tier anointments. Okay, 206% is bigger than the baseline damage difference between 14 levels of gear or 14 theoretical levels of Mayhem. Okay, now that's just one specific example, but hopefully you get the idea. Okay, now when Gearbox first dropped Mayhem 2.0, I was a little upset that they didn't put the Mayhem level on the weapon, as were a lot of people, a lot still are. How are we supposed to differentiate between levels if everything looks the same? After a while, though, I realized this is probably a good thing. Okay, we don't need to know the Mayhem level of a gun dropped any more than we need to know the item score. Like a lot of people, I stopped looking at item scores months ago. It doesn't help. Often it's misleading. Okay, same with the Mayhem level. Don't worry about the Mayhem level of the weapon. Look at the stats. Test it out. Use whatever gun does the most damage most efficiently with whatever anointment it has. Okay, use that gear at the highest Mayhem level you enjoy. If a variant of your favorite gun drops, compare it to the one you already have and decide which to keep. Okay, without a posted Mayhem level on the weapon, we are a lot less likely to dump a better performer just because a potentially misleading number up in the corner is lower than the number on another. Okay. Now, performance is often a lot more than just raw damage. DPS considers rate of fire, reload speed, and magazine size. There's crit damage bonuses and other perks associated with certain guns, okay? If that really concerns you, you're probably the type of player who already ignores level and does DPS calculations. But even if you're not that type of player, don't worry about it, okay? Go by the listed stats, test out the gun in actual play, and above all, have fun, okay? And that's it. Thanks for watching.